Fifth-seeded Kings visit the fourth-seeded Rockets in game number 1 of this Western Conference quarterfinals matchup. We know the Rockets line up really well as Fred VanVleet leads a bunch of young guns. Klinkstein kicking to Joshawn Dillon for the game's first bucket, a 3-ball. Then it's Jalen Green on the other end to match that 3. Joshawn Dillon knocks another 3-ball down. And then later, it's Desmond Bane adding his own triple. Jalen Green was still hot, knocking down another from beyond the arc. And later, it's Kevin Porter Jr. with that side pocket. Off a Baisley miss, it's Alperen Sengun cleaning the boards for a Rockets lead. And then Kamani Cooper misses, but Jamal D'Angelo cleaning the glass on the other end. Jalen Green hits a 3 in the second for a lead, and then another to extend that lead to 4. Rockets would hold that lead into the fourth quarter, and despite the Kings giving it all the effort they had, they will fall 98-114 in game number 1. Keegan Murray had 16 points, 8 boards, and Desmond Bane with 14 and 9. Jabari Smith Jr. was the player of the game with 27 points, 11 boards, and 4 dishes for Houston. Game 2 with the Rockets still comfortably at home with their 1-0 lead over the Kings, but Sacramento scores first again on a 3 from Desmond Bane. Then Klinkstein knocks one down of his own later on. They had a lead, but Jalen Green hits a triple on the catch and shoot. And then a brilliant pass later on to Jalen Duren for a leading dunk. Klinkstein with a lovely pass to Robert Williams for the lead right back, and then Porter Jr. stays hot with a 3. Late game, Kings led it, and it was Dillon making sure it stood that way. And look at the pretty take by Harry Klinkstein off the glass. His feed to R.J. Barrett went for an emphatic slam, and Jabari Smith to Sengun under the bucket kept the game close. But R.J. Barrett was beasting and feasting down low. Rockets needed a big shot, and VanVleet quickly delivers, but Kenyon Martin Jr. could not deliver for the tie as he bricks in the final seconds, and the Kings even the series at 1 each. With a 112-107 win behind 36 points from R.J. Barrett. Bane added 23, and Jalen Green dropped 27 for Houston. The series flipped to Sacramento for the first time, with the series all tied at 1, and the early feed to Robert Williams for the first bucket has FanDuel bettors mad. Kings fans do love the Harry Klinkstein 3 balls, and that one was a drain. Nice shot from VanVleet for a lead for the Rockets, but Robert Williams beasted down low. And unfortunately for the Rockets, Jalen Green wasn't on his A-game late in the ball game as the Rockets start fast but fizzle out. Jalen Green with 25 points to lead Houston, and Harry Klinkstein with a nice 25.9 assist game, while R.J. Barrett drops 23 with 7 boards. That takes us to game number 4 in Sacramento as the Kings were up 2-1, but the Rockets would get the game's first bucket on a Jalen Green feed to Jabari Smith Jr. Fred VanVleet on fire early from D, and then later on would get a kick out to double up the Kings early on in the ball game. However, later in the game, it's Jalen Green for the 4-point lead. And then he would hit the dagger later on with a huge triple. Unfortunately, threes were bricking for the Kings, and maybe it was all those shirts in the stands with the Kings logos on the front and the words Utah Jazz on the back of them. Anyway, Rockets even the series at 2 each behind Jabari Smith Jr. and his 32-point, 13-rebound day. Klinkstein led the Kings with 28 points. With the series even at 2, we go back to Houston for game number 5, and the Rockets strike first with a VanVleet side pocket 3. Later, VanVleet says Klinkstein too little on the take. Then a brilliant pass to Kenyon Martin Jr. for the slam made it seem like Houston would roll in this game, but they did it again, fizzling out at the end. And they got beat down low by D'Angelo for a Kings 120-109 win, with Desmond Bane scoring 21 and R.J. Barrett scoring 19. Jabari Smith Jr.'s 22 points and 9 boards, and Fred VanVleet's 15 points, 8 assists went to waste. So game number 6 in Sacramento, the Kings would like to close it out, and so would Joshawn Dillon, who beasts and feasts in the paint for the first bucket of the game. Then it's Desmond Bane making some moves to get himself open for 3. before Fred VanVleet gets an open look and knocks it down. On the other end, it's Bane again. Why are they leaving him open? I don't know. Easy Drano. Second quarter, Kamani Cooper can't connect, but the Kings took a halftime lead. Here's a peek at how some of the series are going. Pacers sweep the Magic, and the Pelicans get by the Nuggets in 6 games. Fourth quarter, it's VanVleet with a clutch tying 2 before the Rockets D leaves Bane wide open on the inbound for 3. Why would you do this? Last shot, it's VanVleet bricking it, and that does it. Kings close it out in dramatic fashion, 4-2, and we'll move on to the conference semifinals behind Desmond Bane's 27 points and Keegan Murray's 25 and 8 boards. Jalen Green had 25 for Houston, but his running mate Jabari Smith Jr. only had 13 points, though he did have a double-double with 10 boards. Unfortunately, however, bad news as RJ Barrett has a bruised right knee, which is a 1 to 2 week injury, so we'll have to see how that affects us in the next round. The Thunder take care of the Grizzlies, and they will be our next opponent. The Mavs upset the Jazz and will take on the Pelicans. In the East, it's the top 4 seeds, with the Cavs playing the 76ers and the Bulls playing the Pacers. Both of our previous champions in this series are alive. Any predictions? Let me know in the comments section. The Thunder, another team we've had battles with in these past 3 regular seasons. Giddey and SGA are of course tough. They're usually their leaders in points. Add in Holmgren and Mo Bamba, and they've got some size as well. How do you think we match up with them? What are your predictions? Drop them in the comments. Thank you, channel members, for all your support, including you amazing franchise QBs. I love you all, FG fam.